return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled program of liberating the... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled pro... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... 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 Shall we return to our regularly scheduled program of liberating the... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled pro... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled program of liberating the...
Bowman, Snowman, doing Kawani province. What do you got for us?
Kawani's a major hub for the cartel's smuggling operations. We're talking about a sophisticated network of planes, trains, and cargo trucks carrying upwards of 30 tons of powder across the border. The network is the brainchild of an American national by the name of Boston Reed. Reed's a bush pilot who's been flying for Nydia Flores at El Boquita for years, and eventually worked his way into management.
How do we get Reed?
That's the tricky part. Reed's cagey as fuck. He stays in hiding most of the time, preferring to work through middlemen. Psych profile says he's clinically paranoid, but I think there's more to it than that.
Like what?
Money transfers that don't add up, message traffic to unknowns across the border, flights that don't correspond to cartel shipping routines. Reed's moving more than powder, and he doesn't want Sueño to know about it. We've been getting reports of cartel activity around the train cemetery for some time now. See what you can find out.
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled...
We've got intel on cartel
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled...
Nomad, I just uploaded Boston Reed's CIA profile video. Should help you track him down here in Kawani.
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled...
The Mama and Papa Reed raised little Boyer on apple pie and the Red Sox. Since graduating from high school, Boyer Boston Reed has done everything he could to shed that clean-cut image of his youth. Looking for adventure, Reed left his hometown of Lexington, Massachusetts, and became a bush pilot in South America. Medical records also tell a saga of gonorrhea, hep C, and herpes. As a pilot, he stayed clean for a number of years, but one fateful day, he met El Boquita. Within days, Reed was flying Santa Blanca's coke to Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas. With the drug smuggling came the money, and Reed loves to spend it. He's chummy with Boquita, who gave him that nickname Boston because of his accent. Make no mistake, Reed may play hard, but he works harder. Now based out of Kawani, he coordinates all of Santa Blanca's smuggling by air. He uses temporary airstrips, and his own people don't know where they are until the last possible moment. When he's working, Boston Reed is impossible to locate. And you're gonna find him.
Program.
According to this, the cartel's got a supply plane
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled...
I asked the rebels to set...
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled...
Buenas, amigo. Here's your copter.
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled program of... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled program of liberating the...